Imagine pausing at the edge of a quiet room, the kind where the air feels heavier with unspoken longings, and asking yourself, what if the rhythm of connection you've known suddenly stills? What happens to your body when you stop having sex, not just the fleeting ache, but the deeper echoes rippling through your stress, your sleep, your very sense of self? It's a question that whispers to so many of us in moments of reflection, inviting us to honor the human need for intimacy without shame or rush. I'm the Intimacy Doctor, real talk, real science, real intimacy. And today, we're leaning into that space together, exploring 8 subtle yet profound shifts that can unfold when physical closeness fades from our lives. These aren't judgments or warnings, they're invitations to greater self-awareness, drawn from the steady light of relationship, science, and behavioral research. Think of this as a gentle map, helping us navigate how our bodies respond, why our hearts might ache a little more, and what small, compassionate steps we can take to foster emotional health and rebuild trust in ourselves and our connections. Because at the core of it all, intimacy isn't just about touch. It's about the emotional connection that sustains us, the kind that blooms through honest communication and shared vulnerability. Let's start here with the quiet surge of stress that often arrives first. When regular intimacy pauses, our bodies miss the natural flood of oxytocin and endorphins, those soothing hormones that act like a warm embrace for our nervous system. Research from places like the Kinsey Institute shows that without this release, cortisol levels, our primary stress hormone, can climb steadily higher. It's like leaving a garden untended. The weeds of daily pressures grow unchecked, leading to tighter shoulders, a racing mind, and that persistent fog of anxiety. In relationships, this can subtly erode emotional intelligence, making it harder to tune into a partner's needs or even our own. I've seen it time and again in my work. Couples drifting because unspoken tensions build like storm clouds, turning minor conflicts into mountains without the grounding ritual of closeness to diffuse them. But here's the beauty of understanding this. Self-awareness is your first ally. Pause for a moment. What do you notice in your own body when stress lingers? Is it a knot in your chest or a restlessness that steals your evenings? If this resonates, try weaving in a simple practice. 5 minutes of deep, intentional breathing each morning, paired with a journal prompt like, what one small act of kindness can I offer myself today? It's relationship advice wrapped in self-care, reminding us that emotional health starts from within, even as we yearn for partnership. And as we honor that inner dialogue, we open doors to better conflict resolution, approaching disagreements not as battles, but as bridges built on trust. This stress cascade doesn't stop at the mind. It flows into our immune system, the quiet guardian of our physical well-being. Studies published in journals like Psychosomatic Medicine reveal that regular intimacy boosts immunoglobulin A key antibody that shields us from colds and infections. When that intimacy ebbs, our defenses can soften, leaving us more vulnerable to everyday bugs, not dramatically, but enough to notice those lingering sniffles or unexplained fatigue. It's a reminder from behavioral research that our bodies thrive on holistic rhythms, where physical touch reinforces the attachment bonds that make us feel truly seen and safe. In the psychology of relationships, this ties to how we form secure attachments. Without that affirming contact, a subtle sense of isolation can creep in, amplifying relationship problems like withdrawal or miscommunication. Have you ever felt that? A season where your body just seems more fragile, mirroring the emotional distance in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments. You never know who might need to hear your perspective, turning a solitary insight into a shared thread of connection. And if you're nodding along, tap the like button so more people can find videos like this, sparking conversations that heal. From there, the ripples reach our cardiovascular health, where blood pressure often begins to nudge upward. The American Heart Association's data echoes what relationship science has long observed. The act of intimacy acts as a natural vasodilator, easing tension in our arteries and lowering systolic pressure in the moments and days that follow. Without it, that steady calm fades, and over time, especially in midlife, it can contribute to heightened risks of heart strain or even events like hypertension flares. For women, emerging research links this to broader patterns, where pauses in arousal correlate with increased stroke vulnerability, underscoring how intertwined our emotional and physical worlds are. It's not about fear, it's about empowerment, recognizing that emotional connection isn't a luxury, but a pillar of our vitality. Picture it cinematically, your heart, that tireless storyteller of your life's passions, beating a little harder under the weight of unshared nights. This invites us to practical takeaways rooted in everyday grace. Start with movement that mimics connection, a walk with a friend where you share stories, or a yoga flow that reconnects you to your breath. These aren't replacements, but gentle reminders that building trust in your body can pave the way for deeper intimacy elsewhere. In my sessions, clients often discover that reigniting non-physical touch, like holding hands or a lingering hug, can lower that pressure gauge, fostering the emotional intelligence to communicate desires without pressure. And speaking of rest, let's ease into how sleep transforms in these quieter chapters. Oxytocin and prolactin, those post-intimacy lullabies, promote deeper, restorative slumber. Without them, nights can stretch longer, with tossing turns and fragmented dreams. A study from the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that individuals reporting less frequent closeness slept up to an hour less per night on average, their bodies craving the hormonal hush that intimacy provides. This isn't just about hours on the clock. It's the psychology of relationships at play, where poor sleep erodes patience, dims our capacity for empathy, and widens cracks in attachment styles that once felt solid. We wake not refreshed, but frayed, more prone to snapping over small things, less able to lean into vulnerability. What do you think about this? Does a restless night ever feel like it's echoing something deeper in your heart? If you've navigated this, your story could light someone's path. Drop it below, and let's build that web of support. These moments of reflection are where real growth happens, turning awareness into action. That fatigue often pairs with another visitor, headaches and muscle aches that linger like uninvited guests. Endorphins from climax serve as our body's built-in analgesics, dulling pain signals from head to toe. Behavioral research, including insights from WebMD compilations, shows that without this relief, tension-type headaches can spike by 20–30% in frequency, and chronic pain sites, like the lower back or neck, flare more readily. It's a physical echo of emotional unrest, where unprocessed feelings of disconnection manifest as tightness in our frames. In the dance of emotional health, this calls for self-compassion. We can't pour from an empty vessel if our bodies are signaling distress. A realistic step here: incorporate touch therapy into your routine self, massage with essential oils, or scheduling a professional session that honors your need for release without expectation. This builds self-awareness, teaching us to listen to our bodies as wise guides, much like we learn to in healthy relationships. Over time, it enhances conflict resolution skills, as a calmer body fosters a clearer mind, ready for open-hearted talks. For those with prostates, yes. Let's address this with the care it deserves. Abstinence over months can subtly shift glandular health. Harvard's long-term studies link infrequent ejaculation to a modest rise in prostate cancer risk, with men ejaculating fewer than 4 times weekly facing up to 20% higher odds. It's not causation, but correlation born from stagnation. Fluids build without release, potentially harboring irritants. Relationship science frames this as part of broader intimacy patterns. When physical expression wanes, it often mirrors deeper hesitations around trust or desire, pulling us into cycles of avoidance. Men, have you ever experienced something similar? That quiet concern bubbling up? Your voice matters. Share in the comments, normalizing what too many hold in silence. Women, too, might notice parallel shifts, like vaginal tissues thinning from disuse, leading to discomfort that echoes emotional withdrawal. Either way, the takeaway is proactive. Solo practices like mindful masturbation can bridge the gap, honoring your body's needs while nurturing emotional connection to self. It's relationship advice for the most important partnership, you. As these physical threads weave together, we arrive at changes in sexual function itself. A natural atrophy of response that research terms use it or lose it. For men, erectile tissue can lose elasticity without regular engorgement, per urological studies, increasing dysfunction risks by 15–25% after a year. Women may encounter dryness or reduced sensitivity tied to estrogen dips from hormonal pauses. This isn't failure, it's biology reminding us of our relational nature. In psychology terms, it heightens attachment anxiety, where fear of rejection stifles communication, snowballing into larger relationship problems. Yet, here's the grounded wisdom: revival starts small. Explore sensual, non-sexual touch, feather, light traces on skin during a movie night, or guided meditations on desire. These practices from emotional intelligence training rebuild neural pathways, making space for trust to regrow. Clients tell me it's like thawing a frozen river. What was blocked flows again, richer for the wait. Finally, overarching it all is a dip in overall vitality, that subtle dimming of energy and mood, where self-rated health scores plummet in longitudinal studies like those from the English longitudinal study of aging. Without intimacies, dopamine lift, motivation wanes, colors seem duller, and the spark of joy flickers. It's the culmination of our 8 shifts: stress compounding, immunity softening, heart straining, sleep evading, pains persisting, functions fading, and now, a holistic hush. But remember, this is reversible. A call to recommit to emotional health through deliberate acts of connection. If this journey has stirred something in you, tap like and subscribe to The Intimacy Doctor. We're building a community rooted in real talk, real science, and real intimacy. Turn on notifications so you never miss videos diving deeper into relationships, emotional intelligence, and the latest in relationship science. And if you're curious about turning these insights into action, check out my next video on 5 gentle ways to reignite emotional connection in your relationship. It's the perfect companion, offering tools to bridge the gaps we've explored today. Until then, be kind to your body, listen to its whispers, and know you're not alone in this beautiful, unfolding story. Take care.